The system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history. In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing. The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today, as I need all of you to watch to the end of this video, as we have a lot to discuss. Powerful game-changing news, powerful geopolitical events, and I believe the elites just let us know the approximate XRP launch date. We're gonna get into all of that, but first we have this from Charles Gasparino. Gasparino states the Swiss National Bank has weighed merging Credit Suisse with another bank like UBS. It's unclear if there's official talks or this is just rumblings, but growing consensus. There isn't a need for both institutions competing over the same turf. This is powerful, as we see that Credit Suisse is having issues. We have to go back into the past and remember. This is from 2016 on Ripple's site. That Credit Suisse stated, Ripple is solving the problems of cross-border payments. This is oh so important, as recently, language that we in the XRP community have used is being used by Credit Suisse as well. And I'm going to play you this clip by Crypto Insights UK. Please give them a follow, and it's going to bring chills. Please take a listen.
And obviously this could be coincidence. This could be coincidence. It depends if you believe in coincidence, but I'm just going to play you the clip anyway, and you let me know what you think. I mean, I don't know. This is a phrase that is used all the time in the XRP community. The XRP is going to rise like a phoenix. And literally, what's this, from 6 hours ago, I think, 1:44 a.m. Right now it's 11:54. So let's say 10 hours ago, Credit Suisse CEO comes out and says Credit Suisse are going to rise like a phoenix. Listen.
On the liquidity and the critical moment, the part that struck me is the metaphor the CEO uses, is that Credit Suisse is looking to rise like a phoenix. That's from the ashes. And so
is this coincidence? Then I got this little clip here from Token Topics on Twitter from 3 hours ago. Credit Suisse says bank will rise like a phoenix. Credit Suisse is the latest global bank to agree cross-border payments ready for distributed tech. A 135-page report, Credit Suisse offers their research expertise blockchain, declaring that it will fundamentally change every aspect of banking and finance for the next 10 years. Furthermore, the report comes to the same conclusion as Ripple on the question of where these shifts will occur first and will have the most significant impact: cross-border payments. A shared ledger creates significant opportunity for cost-cutting in a number of areas where current processes are slow, cumbersome, and highly fractional. These areas include the processing of trades in securities, trade finance, and also in payments, particularly cross-border payments and transactions. Credit Suisse cites Ripple as an example of tech for banks to cut costs and increase revenue in payments. So, am I being a moon boy, or is something about to happen that is going to be what we've all speculated in the XRP community?
Personally speaking, guys, I think something major is about to happen. The Biden administration is urging Congress to speed up crypto regulations, just as Credit Suisse is showing the cracks, just as the British pound collapsed. Quantitative easing is back on in England. The UK, London, is the financial center of the world, and they collapsed. Immediately upon the pivot of the Bank of England, the United Nations calls on the Fed and other central banks to halt interest rate increases. Ladies and gentlemen, remember all those people that were stating for the past 6 months. Oh yeah, interest rates are going to keep going up and up and up into 2023. They need to stop a recession, they said. I told you all, no, they're going to pivot because the Fed is too pussy to send us into a recession during a election cycle. Congress is still in this market. The Fed is going to pivot. They need inflation to bring on central bank digital currencies. They need to keep lowering interest rates into negative rates. I believe negative interest rates will come everywhere because that is the easiest way to implement a CBDC. CBDCs are their endgame. A cashless society is their endgame. And if you understand this, you understand what's about to happen next. What's happening right now, though, is that the US imposed sanctions on companies from China, Belarus, and Armenia for supporting Russia. Sanctions and the weaponization of the US dollar is why the SWIFT system is being replaced by the XRP system. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make this clear. SWIFT is not going away, but they are going to be adopting forward-thinking technology for CBDC interoperability. I believe XRP is going to play a massive role in that fact. And when that does happen, the neutral bridge asset and the sanctioning of countries is going to be heavily limited. And what's so crazy about this is that all this type of news keeps ramping up and keeps coming out coincidentally as November 2022 is approaching, which is when ISO 20022 is set to go live. And at the same time, we have to know that ISO tokens like XRP, Stellar, Algorand, IOTA, XDC, they did not have a full-fledged altcoin season. I believe now it's because they are going to rise within the not too distant future. And in addition to that, while we have that major timeline in effect, the 3T Warrior Academy also posted this earlier today. More timelines are coming out, and it's bullish for XRP adoption and the revolution of the global financial system. Please take a listen.
And we're showing our listeners a very important document from Deutsche Bank stating that the global financial system is going to change in January of 2023. And I want to remind our listeners, that's only 4 months away. And the fact that these dates are emerging this quickly, it's pretty exciting. Selman, when they talk about cross-border payments, the main token that comes to mind is XRP. And we see the cross-border payments efficiency. That seems to be the number one problem in our global financial system today.
And ladies and gentlemen, with no coincidences in this global financial system, it was Deutsche Bank who wrote that document. Deutsche Bank and Credit Suisse are both experiencing a crisis right now. And trust me when I say, this financial system is about to get revamped. It took a decade for us to get to where we are. Almost nothing has been shown as far as adoption and price is concerned. It happens very slowly, but then, after one critical moment, it happens all at once. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe a major geopolitical catalyst is going to accelerate XRP adoption, and right here, right now, this is what I believe. I think that could be a global war, World War III, as I think this specific moment, Ukraine applying for NATO, took us over the top and to that point. North Korea firing missiles over Japan is no coincidence either. And at the same time, we saw retaliation from the US and South Korea. Guys, there are no coincidences at all. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink stated that the Ukraine war could speed up digital currency adoption. What about a world war? That's something. Remember, guys, I brought up these sanctions for a reason. Countries are tired of being sanctioned by a weaponized United States dollar. The US dollar as the world's reserve currency is about to come to an end. Quickly, more countries are trying to join the BRICS nations in an anti-US dollar system. And it's coming very soon. And something very interesting as well that I need all of you to pay attention to is the recent move by Ray Dalio. The reason I bring this up is because Ray Dalio's book, The Changing World Order, is what I've proclaimed to be the book of 2022. Prophetic. Wars, like a civil war, potentially in the US, and a world one. That is on the table. But that's usually preceded by a currency war. And there have been currency wars left and right. The ruble, the dollar, the won, the pound, the euro. All global currencies are gonna come to the forefront. Countries are collapsing. Tensions are building. Crisis is afoot. And for those few of us that are paying attention, we know what move we need to make. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what's coming next. So does Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio gave up his control, his seat at the table at Bridgewater. And it's because I believe he knows that shit's about to hit the fan. This man I highly respect got out of there real quick. And it's yet another initial indicator for the inevitable that's about to come. Crisis is afoot. But I personally believe for us, the XRP investor, will be okay. 99.9% of the world isn't ready. But the XRP army is. And while I'm praying for the rest of the world every single day, I'm excited for the XRP army's future. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift? Former Swift board member? Former CFO of PayPal? Former head of the DTCC? Former chief business officer at Uber? Former VP of Amazon and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, Worldwide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.